Hi everyone, welcome back. Today on my channel, we're going to be doing some cookies and they're called cinnamon roll cookies. So you make the cookie dough and you kind of roll them up to form like they look like cinnamon rolls. So if you want to know how to do that, stay tuned. And if you're new here, my name is Debbie and I would love to have you be a part of my YouTube family. So hit that subscribe button and always give me a thumbs up. Appreciate those. And hit the bell icon too so you're notified of all the videos that I upload. So let's make these cinnamon roll cookies today. Okay, so I have my stand mixer out. The first thing we're going to do is cream together the butter and the sugar. The butter is 1 cup of butter. And I brought you in a little closer so you can see what I'm doing instead of see me. So we're going to put in 1 cup of butter, which will be 2 sticks. I got this recipe from a friend. So it's new to me. I'm hoping it turns out really good. And we're going to do 2/3 cup of sugar. That was 1/3. So 2/3 cup and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Okay, we're going to cream that together. Maybe beating it like a couple minutes. I'm going to scrape down my bowl. Okay, we're going to add 1 egg. Then we're going to add 1 tablespoon of vanilla. And we're going to beat that. Oops, thought I had put it down. We're going to beat that in there, mix that well. Then we're going to add in our flour. My mixer is so big. I forget what size it is. It's a professional size. Not that I'm a professional. Don't claim to be. But the bowl is real big, so when you're making a smaller batch of something, you got to really make sure you scrape the bottom also, because until it gets a little bit more stuff in it, it doesn't always beat the very middle of the bottom of the bowl. Then we're going to add in 2 cups of flour. So we're going to mix that in, but we're going to try and start very low so we don't get flour mixture all over everywhere. I like trying new recipes. You know, this isn't too far out of my comfort zone, but I really do like to try new flavors and new recipes and things like that. My husband isn't always keen on them, but you know, I can get him to try some new things, which is a good thing. And then I get to experience more stuff because in this day and age, if I don't think he's going to eat it, I really can't make it because the food costs. I don't know where everybody is watching from in what countries, but here in the United States and in the area I live in, Illinois, the food costs are just, they're terrible. It's just, it's like triple what it cost 3 years ago. It's terrible. And so, you know, I can't experiment as much as I would like to because of that. That's the main reason. You know, a few years ago, if my husband said, I don't want to try that, I would just make it. And if I made a big old batch of something or big crock pot full of something, you know, I would eat it. I wouldn't waste it. But if it ended up having a little bit of leftovers that didn't get eaten, I wasn't worried about it. But not now. No siree, too much money. I can't afford to just make something 3 times a week that we're not going to eat and give it away. That's not feasible. It's too costly. I would love to do that, but so I'm going to clean my beater here. I did use the beater that has the rubber edging on it. I think it helps scrapes your bowl a little bit better. I'm not convinced it's the best thing in the world, but it helps a little bit. We're going to remove our dough. We're going to place it on this plastic wrap, and we're going to form it into like a rectangle. And then we're going to chill it. My flour was very cold when I put it in here. So we're going to see if that does anything. I don't know. It might have helped chill it already because it feels chilly. My flour was cold because I keep my flour in the freezer of my refrigerator. Not sure if you're supposed to do that, but I usually don't have any issues with my food baking or anything like that. And I keep bags of it in my deep freeze because I bake so much and I just figured it'd stay fresh that way. Okay, so we're just gonna shape into like a rectangle. Not really rolling it out. We're just gonna spread it out on here into the shape of a rectangle. And then we're going to wrap the plastic wrap over it, chill it. Let's add a little up here. Doesn't have to be perfect. You're going to get this out after it's chilled, and we're going to roll it, and so we can make it a better shape then. Just kind of to get it to flatten out a little bit so it can chill faster, maybe an hour. Okay, so we're going to wrap that up. Get that in the refrigerator to chill about an hour, and I'll meet you back here. See? Just formed it into a little rectangle. All right, I'll be back. Okay, and while we're waiting on that to chill, we're going to get our mixture for the middle ready. So we're going to do a 1/2 cup of brown sugar. And then 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Well, that'll fit in there. I'll just do it that way. It's not very accurate though, but there's 2 teaspoons. I'm going to mix that up. And that's going to be our filling when we roll it out. Just like a cinnamon roll. And so we're just going to set this aside and have that ready to go. Okay, we have our dough out of the fridge. It's chilled. It's pretty stiff. Now we're going to roll it out. It says to roll out on floured parchment paper. Here's our parchment paper. I'm going to grab me this one. This is a rolling pin that I bought when I do my Christmas cookies because it's actually made a 1/4 inch. So when you roll it, that's a 1/4 inch under there. And so your your cookies are perfectly the same size. Isn't that wonderful? It says we want to roll this 10 by 12 inch size. A 10 by 12. We're going to flour the top a little bit. Hi. My grandson just walked in. So we're going to flour the top a little bit and get this rolled out. And she is very stiff. I'm glad I made it a semi-triangle, a rectangle when I, boy, that in 30 minutes, that butter really stiffens up on you. I think that's about 12 inches long. I'm gonna go for the 10 inches. Trying to get it all the same thickness. I think that's about 12 inches long. This isn't 10 inches here. I might have to use my heavy duty marble pen. Okay, I don't have a tape measure out, but I'm going to say that's about a 10 by 12. Then we're going to lightly brush that with a little bit of beaten egg. Now in the middle of your cinnamon rolls, you usually use melted butter. I've never used a beaten egg, so we're going to see what this does. But of course, this is cookie dough. We don't want it to be any more melty in the middle. We need our cookies to keep their shape while they're baking. Then we're going to add our brown sugar and cinnamon mixture that we did. I'm just going to sprinkle that over the middle, all over the rolled out cookie. Now we're going to attempt to roll it up. We're going to try this just like if we were rolling. Now I know why it tells you to flour your parchment paper. Flour it very well. I don't know if I floured mine well enough. It's wanting to stick in some spots. Trial and error, right? I'm going to put some of this down here so I can work with this. Add in some flour as I need it. Generously flour your parchment paper. Don't do like I did. Because you make it tough on yourself if you don't put enough flour on it. Right, Trevor? So again, learn from my mistakes and put enough flour on the parchment paper. Okay. We're getting there. We're going to make it work, right? That's what I always say. Make it work. I'm going to make it work. Somebody once told me cooking is a science because it's all, and it is, it's all a science with your measurements, your weight, your different ingredients that goes together and makes the other one do what it's supposed to do. And yeah. So, okay. So we got our little log rolled up. Looks pretty good. I'm going to kind of just make that end go in a little bit more. Okay. Now we need to rewrap it in some more plastic wrap, and we're going to freeze it now for 30 minutes. Then we're going to get it out in a preheated 375-degree oven. We will bake it. But we're freezing it so it's going to be easier to cut the cookies. There we go. Okay, let's get it nice and straight. Don't put it on like a snake because you're going to be cutting this. So I want to get everything kind of evened up and where it needs to be. So when we get it out, it will be frozen. You won't be able to do anything else to it. So we're going to freeze that, put it up, place it on a cookie sheet, freeze it for 30 minutes, and I'll meet you back here to slice it and bake it. Okay, we have our cookie dough out of the freezer. Little log. My cutting board almost isn't long enough. And we're going to cut them into circles. I'm going to line a cookie sheet with parchment paper. And we're going to cut these into, okay, 1/4 of an inch. It's not very big. I'm going to cut that end off. And those are pretty small. I'm going to cut them just a touch bigger. A 1/4 of an inch. I wonder if they raise while they're cooking. They are cutting very nicely since they're frozen, for sure. Okay, we're going to bake these for about 8 to 10 minutes. And I just brought them out of the oven. So here they are. And they, excuse me for moving around. They look like little cinnamon rolls, don't they? So cute. I'm going to get them onto my cooling rack to cool. And then we'll ice them and have a taste test. Okay, we're going to ice one. I'll try to find one that's a little cooled off. They're so cute. Now, it said 1/4 of an inch thick. I might make them just a touch bigger than that next time, I think. But, and mind you, my log wasn't symmetrical, like totally round. So some of them looks like they kind of got a flat bottom, but that's okay. it's a cookie. It's going to be wonderful. They do smell wonderful. And they are kind of a softer cookie. So the baking time made them that way. They're done, but they are a softer cookie. If you want a more of a crispy cookie, just bake them a little longer. I ended up baking these 9.5 minutes. So just watch your oven 8 to 10 minutes. See what you think for yours. So I'm going to ice one and taste it. I think next time though, and I will make these again, I'm going to make them probably not a 1/2 inch thick, but a little bit more than a 1/4 inch. So I've just made some buttercream icing, and I will link that recipe in the description box. I'm just going to spread some of that on here. It's not going to be very neat looking. I just want to taste already. So let's give it a taste. Okay, here we go. The cinnamon roll cookie. Wow. That's good. Tastes just like a cinnamon roll. I mean, there's no other way to describe it to you. And the buttercream icing just puts it over the top. So you really need to try these. And until next time, take care of yourself and each other. Bye.